What's up, everybody? You're listening to Walk-Ins Welcome. We are excited after a little bit of a hiatus to be back with you. I know last week you got an episode about AI and how to integrate that into your marketing, but we are back live and in person. Michael, what is up, my friend?
Well, it's been a minute.
It has been. It's been a few weeks, y'all. We've been dealing with Thanksgiving, travel, jury duty, COVID.
Duty.
Oh my gosh, like everything was being thrown at us all at once.
So I was the jury duty guy.
Yeah, you were.
We're going to have a whole episode around my experience because there's things I learned from it. I even explained some of my learnings this morning in our meeting.
It was good.
But yeah, so like we were gone for a week in Miami, which actually ended up being a day and a half longer than we wanted.
Yep.
Due to weather.
Oh, we should talk about that too at some point.
VFR problems. And then
For the uninitiated, that's visual flight rules. Okay.
yes, I thought that meant rating, not rules. All right. Well, that makes sense. Anyway, and then after that, I was on vacation. And then after that, I had jury duty.
That's
so
right.
I was a solid 13, 14 days of no office time. Took me a minute. And then when I came back, we went straight to JSU for a presentation. So
Yeah, we went and taught a marketing class at JSU, which was fun. But I tell you, during that time, Michael, I looked like a wilted flower.
Because one of our CSNs was out. Like you were playing triple duty.
I was doing all the things. I walked into the office one day and they're like, he's about to quit. I'm like, I can't quit, or I would quit. I own the place.
My name's on it.
I was like, I can't. Y'all at least can if you want to. I can't even do that. Oh,
There's so many things I have to do that. It's not happening.
Hey, I think we have a fun episode today. We just got out of our marketing meeting. We had another direction we were going to go with the podcast. And then Hannah, who is our marketing director here at Patient Care Marketing Pros, gave us the Spotify for podcasters. Michael, explain what this is a little bit because it's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, so
we're going to share it, right? Can we do that?
I don't know.
Share.
Oh. Well, for our YouTubers, you're going to actually...
Never mind.
Just kidding. Nah, that's not what scratch that. All right. So what is so we've all who on here listens to Spotify, right? Most people probably do. I mean, at this point, it's kind of become the standard. Pandora, I'm sorry, you're never coming back. Bye, Pandora. But Spotify is the standard. And what does Spotify do? The really cool thing is called Wrapped. Spotify Wrapped. What does that mean for a listener? It talks about the music you listen to, what kind of genre you are, all the different things, what kind of profile you fit, top songs, all things. Now for podcasters,
When they say Wrapped, it's WRAP.
yes,
Like
wrap it like a gift,
like in a bow. Not rap as in the genre, although some of y'all that listen to this podcast are a little rap crazy. I just want you to know.
I know it's so fast.
We'll
Anyway,
get there. We'll get
so
there.
So for the podcasting side of Spotify, they give us our own version of Wrapped. And what does it do? It walks us through who are our listeners, what kind of music they listen to, how did we grow, all these different things. And it's real fascinating because we were going through it in the marketing meeting. We're like, well, that's really cool. Like, because sometimes you forget.
Right.
We've been doing this now for 2 years, 2 solid years, and you kind of forget where you've come from and where you've been because, right now we're pushing like episode 106, 105, somewhere around those lines.
I'll start counting again when we get up to like 190 something.
There you go. And like a year ago, we're at episode 50. So, 50 episodes, 50 plus episodes later, here we are. And so we kind of forget where we've come from. We even do this as a company. Like toward the end of the year or the very beginning of the next year, we review the year prior and like talk to the team about it and say like, this is what we went through. Because sometimes you just simply forget the good and the bad. And you really, as we talked about this morning, focus on the positive. Because if you focus on the negative, you'll never go anywhere. You'll just sit there stuck. So, all right. So Wraps. So what we're going to do in this episode, we're going to kind of talk the stats that Spotify gave us in the Wrap and kind of go through it because we were enjoying it so much. We're like, we got to tell our listeners about this because they're part of it.
Yeah, I wish there was a way to screen share this. There doesn't seem to be. So we'll just kind of go through the data, but it looks really cool. Here's the one thing that I want to talk about, though, as we get into this is 1/10 of the market. Like this is 1/10 of the people that listen to the podcast. Most of you folks that listen to us listen on Apple Podcasts.
60% do.
60%. There's a large percentage that watch it on our YouTube channel. This is just 10%.
Technically, it's probably even lower because our YouTube channel isn't even calculated in those stats.
That's true. You're right.
So you're probably like this is Spotify telling us this is 10% of our audience. So we have to recognize that, but it still lines up. You know, we know in data and marketing, it may be a 10% percentage, whatever, or percentile, but we also recognize that probably represents most people. And so it probably follows that gap pretty well. But the first stat it gives us is the top streamed episode. What are you guys listening to? And we were shocked by this.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this, although I thought Nate did a great job. But
were you even on that one?
no, I listen. I'm a listener of
Yeah,
our podcast.
yeah, exactly.
I'm one of the people.
But I think the reason why you people liked it was it talks about an EMR software. And man, EMR is just like the EMR is something we all have to deal with in the medical world. And what I remember talking to Nat about this, that it's all clunky.
Right.
It's all clunky. And the goal of Urgent IQ was like, let's get rid of the clunkiness, because as we all know, most urgent cares pick up a EMR software that's for a healthcare.
Windows 98.
Right, and it's for healthcare, so it's
bad.
not streamlined for the urgent care. Because, I mean, let's be honest, an urgent care's setup is different from your typical primary care, your specialist, or check all those boxes, right?
Right.
It's just different. But yeah, episode 85, streamlining the process of the EMR. So, God, it feels so long ago, 28 plus. Because I remember we met him at the UCA.
We did. Nice guy.
Yeah, so there you go. So number one episode for this year that we can tell was the episode 85.
All right. And it was streamed.
400. Now we know percentages, but here we go. 474% more than the average episode. So what we're saying, 4.5 times more than any other episode we had.
That tells me y'all are interested in your EMRs, and we need to have some more EMRs on here to talk about their software and what it can do for you. We do take note of this. This is really good data for us to bring you what you want more of.
So it sounds like you're frustrated probably by it, and you're looking for a new option of some sort. Or at the end of the day, we're talking about a software that everybody has to deal with, and like, here's new options out there.
Urgent IQ is pretty cool.
Yep.
All right. Next stat is, how does it feel to have gone global? So we are no longer just stuck here in the United States. That's pretty cool. So we were streamed in 5 different countries. Obviously, most of it was the United States, okay, but there were some other countries that are chiming in, which I think is super cool.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
All right, what's our next stat, Michael?
Let's see. Keep going.
All right.
This is the funny one. Okay, so
All right.
this one we predicted. We weren't very shocked by this guy, but here's where you guys follow. Y'all fall into business, health and fitness, and education.
3 of the things that, well, 2 of those 3. One of them I need to get a little bit more into. I'll let you guess which, but
that makes total sense. We're dedicated toward the healthcare side of healthcare marketing. It's business, so you're trying to grow it, and then we educate. So it made us feel good. But this is the one that cracked us up.
Yes,
what are the top
this
3?
is funny to me.
All right, Nick. What are the top 3 music genres that you listen to?
You folks that listen to our podcast listen to, number 1, pop. Number 2, rap. I wasn't expecting that. Our doctors are getting down, man. I'm telling you. And then 3, rock. So where are our country music fans? Where are y'all at?
I know. Where's country? Where's like classic? I don't
Any
know.
of that. Christmas music, we could have gotten something. But your listeners told you about their friends y'all told your friends about us, which, God, thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
We appreciate that. And here's how you shared us. 60% of y'all went from a direct link. So y'all shared the link of the episode with your friends and family or whoever you shared it with, doctors internally. 30% texted.
Yeah, 7% on Facebook and 3% on WhatsApp. So WhatsApp is Facebook's chat software / phone calling software.
I'd be willing to bet that 3% of the WhatsApp came from our overseas listeners.
Probably.
Because they don't use
WhatsApp's
Messenger and
huge
all
over
that.
there.
Right. So our most shared episode, which I found we got to give a shout out here.
One of our most favorite, too.
It is. We love them.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, so this is the most shared episode. So this is one like, hey, y'all need to listen to this episode. Episode 92, Achieve Effective Leadership Within Your Clinic. Interview with Brenda Bates from American Family Care.
Mama Bear.
Mama Bear. And if you are like, what is it all about? It's Mama Bear, who helps run the AFC Urgent Care Raleigh Midtown. She talks about how to run the clinic and from a standpoint, how to listen to your people, take care, be the mama bear for your people, protect them, right? And then like she was helping other urgent cares with that. Like she would, if you are having struggles with the culture inside your urgent care or with like, hey, my employees aren't listening to me or they're burning out, that's the epised for you.
Go listen to it. 92.
92.
All right, here we go. So the podcast rating was a 5.
Yay.
Thank you. And I'll take a second to do a plug here. The only ask we ever have of this podcast is for you to share it and to give us a review. All right. And just think about how you got to this podcast. Somebody probably shared it with you, and it means the world to us if you share it to someone else. And when you leave us a review, that lets people know that you like what we're doing. And imagine the impact it could have on somebody else's clinic. Okay. Yeah. So please leave us a review wherever you listen to this. And thank you, because those who have left us nothing but 5-star reviews. Y'all rock.
We appreciate it.
Yes. All right. Year turned on. Okay.
Oh, we are proud of this one.
Yeah, do it.
All right. So right now we're using a software called Riverside to do our podcast, which does audio and video. Here's what's cool. We preach video all the time on this.
This is huge.
And so it said we made 43 video episodes this year, which basically means almost every episode we recorded was video, which is very accurate because right. Nick, you may have already forgot, like that used to not be our camera.
I remember. Yeah, it was a piece of crap.
The camera we had before was like my camera from 5 years ago.
Logitech
C1 ever, which was a great camera for its time, but not for this time.
Right.
So we upgraded camera. Anyway, all that being said, 43 episodes, which means we're in the top, this is pretty neat to us. We're in the top 20% of most viewed. So we're in the top 20% of video podcasts out there on the Spotify platform.
And listen, again, a testament to our listeners and our viewers. Thank you. That's huge to us. Top 20%. There are millions of podcasts out there.
Yeah.
To be in the top 20% is huge.
That makes it, I mean, we love that.
Super proud of that. All right. Are you a gardener? I have no idea what that means. Okay. All right.
Oh, growth.
Oh, because we saw growth. All right. We must have planted some good stuff. So, Michael, you want to go through those?
So, listeners, we had a 103% increase in listening, and we see that in all our stats.
Right.
We see that from weekly listeners to episode listens to total listens. Like, we're seeing some movement there. We've seen a lot more movement this year than last year, too.
Yeah, for sure. Exponential growth.
Yeah, it's starting to actually add up now, which is nice. Follower-wise, we're up 150%, which is awesome. So we 1.5x'd our increase in followers. And I'll be honest, too, I want to say Spotify has some... Well, we can't see Apple Podcasts. We can't.
This is 100% on
Spotify. Yeah. So.
Yep.
And then... talking about how we're very consistent with putting out our episodes on the minutes created here. You know, we're very consistent. We only increased our minutes created by 6%, which means what we did last year is similar to what we did this year.
So that takes a minute for us to kind of give you some context. Our goal is for you to be able to listen to an entire podcast on your commute, right? So that's why we're consistent in somewhere between 25 and 30 minutes. That's the average commute time for most people. And we want you to be able to get in your car, turn on a podcast, and then by the time you get to wherever you work, wherever your clinic is, you've had a chance to, between your commute in and your commute out, to have listened to a whole podcast. So that's the thought process behind it. So the extra 6% here, Michael, is most likely that and a bonus. Like I'll occasionally throw out a bonus episode.
Oh, yeah.
And that's probably the increase. So I'm actually, if that were 0, I'd have been proud of it.
That would have been really cool.
All right, let's keep going.
All right, what does it say here?
Who's our fan base?
Who's our biggest fans?
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, top 10 podcasts for 34 of our fans.
Right. Top 10.
So what does that mean when it comes to listening? Those 34 people, we're in the top 10, and then it goes a little deeper. We're in the top 5 of 22. So of the 34, 22, we're like, yeah, you're up there, which is pretty cool. I like it.
Yep.
And then, drum roll, please.
I want to say it's like for like 7 people were the top.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, like this is for only 10% of our entire audience.
Yeah. So it could really be like we're number 1 for 7 fans on Spotify, which means we're probably number 1 for 50 plus.
Yeah, if it matches across all platforms, for sure.
Yeah.
Right?
So it makes a difference.
Super cool. All right. You guys listen to our podcast 2.2 times more than you listen to other podcasts, which means you're getting information that makes you want to go back and listen to it again.
You like what we're saying, but we also like feedback.
Yep.
Please tell us what you like.
Yeah. hello@patientcaremarketingpros.com.
Yeah.
All right. So let's zoom out.
So here's the overcap, right?
Overview, overcap.
Whatever.
Same thing here. We've already seen this, right?
Yep.
Top fans. All right. One more.
There you go. Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So what is the point? I know this is a self-serving podcast, Michael. That's not our goal to be self-serving. But what we want to do is celebrate like this for us. We were having a high five party in our conference room talking about the growth of the podcast, the people that we've had a chance to impact, the people we've been able to have on for interviews, the doors it's opened up for us to be able to serve urgent cares, to serve other podcasters like people like Solve Health, people like Urgent IQ. Where I got a chance to speak on another podcast that was all about AI with Jonathan Mast. It's opened doors for us as well. And we just want to celebrate with you. It's not, oh, look at you, or look at us, look at us. It's, hey, look at what we've been able to accomplish on this podcast.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's and we enjoy it too. Like it's something, it's very built into our schedule. We love it. And we love the feedback you guys send us. It's been very, I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's also been a blast bringing these interviews on and kind of chatting people up because like Brenda Bates, we gave her an opportunity and a platform to talk about how awesome she is. Because I know there are so many of y'all that do amazing things, but nobody knows about it. And this is a great platform to share it on. So
I'm going to throw this out as kind of a fishing lure.
All right.
Okay.
Big pond.
There you go. The number one episode outside of our first episode over the time we've been doing this is our front desk advantage.
Yeah.
I would love it if you were a listener of this podcast and you were good at running the front desk of your clinic.
Or you've been training front desk people on it for a long time, like a Brenda.
Yeah, I want you to think about this for a second. What you do matters so much that all of our listeners want to hear that episode. That's the one they always go to. Yeah. I'd love to interview you. I'd love to have you on the podcast and talk about how you're making that front desk experience such a positive experience for your clinic and for your patients and for the doctors. I'd love to talk about that. That's my fishing lure. There it is.
Or prove us wrong.
Yeah.
We talk about this stuff all the time, but say like, actually, y'all should say this instead. We're all about being proven wrong too.
I don't need to be right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so. All of that being said, though, thank you so much for an amazing 2023. We are going to do our very best to bring excellent content going into 2024.
With a new office.
With a new office. We are going to be building out a new podcast room in the office. I'm excited about that. The more opportunity to bring y'all in and come sit down, have a cup of coffee, have an Alani New with us, whatever, and we'll talk shop. And
Hashtag Alani.
Talk clinic, right? So, Michael, anything to add?
Other than simply, this has been a great year for us. It's been, I don't know about everybody that's listening, but it's been a fast year.
Yeah,
like,
gosh,
I don't remember this year at all. I mean, it's been 9 months since we've been to Vegas.
Right. It's coming up again.
It's coming back. Like we got all the emails to sign up again. So it's just.
Oh, hey, that reminds me. So Michael and I have both signed up to be consultants in the marketing space where we can do one-on-one consultation. Look, we're not allowed to sell you anything. That's not the goal of it. We're not trying to sell you anything. We're literally there to answer your marketing questions on a one-on-one, maybe one-on-three kind of basis where we can bounce ideas, what's working, what's not, go over your stuff. I want to encourage you, if you're listening to this, sign up for that. If you're going to the urgent care conference, it's like March and April, like end of March, beginning of April.
Yeah.
Sign up for those sessions. We want to help you. We love it.
Yeah, and there's nothing we can't even really mention who we are with or anything. Like it's all about helping you.
Right.
You know about us, and we learn about you, and then we like, well, this is what we know. This is what we can help you with. So yeah, that'll be exciting. I was excited to see that as an option because that was not an option this past time.
No. This is going to be good.
Yeah,
I actually prefer it to the one to many.
Yeah.
So
it's more likely to be more helpful. So
right. Well, listen, I know this is a little bit shorter of an episode, but we wanted to take this episode to say thank you to Stat Show that y'all appreciate what we do and we appreciate you listening. So I hope you're out there crushing it. I know you're making a difference in your community. Cheers to 2024. That's right around the corner. I know we're all going into the holidays, but we are excited. We will be planning a webinar either at the tail end of December or the very beginning of January. It's all about getting your 2024 marketing right. We're going to be putting that webinar together. But until then, I hope y'all have a great week. We'll see you next Wednesday.
See ya.